You're not live.
And we're live. Take one.
Action.
Only. Hi guys, I wanted to pop in here, or really not pop in here. I would say we're gonna stay here for a little bit. Fantastic. I can't tell you how many times I'm out and about, I'm having dinner with friends, or I'm just, I don't know, it's been a while since I've been on a soccer field, but I'm in some sort of event, cross country, whatnot. And parents, especially moms, are always asking me, hey, can you like write that story down? Can you journal what it is that you do with your daughter? Because my kids are too small and I want to remember what you said. And as you all probably know, we kind of like wing it. I don't know if you know this or not. I, by no means, am going to pretend that I am the mother of the year, that I have all the answers. I can promise you one thing. I've made a lot of mistakes. It's really honestly what I tell a lot of parents. As long as you go in there knowing that you're going to make mistakes, then you're going to be fine. But I also do feel that I have a different perspective, and maybe, I don't know if you agree compared to your friends' parents. I have a different perspective. I look at things, I look at raising my daughter and my son a little bit different. I would say that I'm liberal on some things and then really strict on others. But here's the thing, most moms, most of my friends, anyone that will talk to me have heard my side of the story, but I thought it would be really cool to hear her side, the recipient of all of this. And so what Alejandra and I have tried to do, or I think we're trying to do, is we're trying to pick like kind of like hot topics, things that come up in our lives, me as a parent, her as my daughter, and in hopes to help you. I do have to say, any decision, we all, I think as a parent, think in the future, like what kind of child, what kind of adult are we raising? For me, what's always on my mind is I want to make sure that I raise an independent, a strong, a loving, of course. I want to empower her and equip her to be that kind of woman. In this day and age, I find more and more, and I tell her this all the time because she, of course, asks me, why are you always talking on social media? And why are you always talking to women? And I am always telling her how important it is, because I feel that so many women tend to, I think, lean back. They shy away from areas that I feel they need to lean in, because they forgot or they lose that power. They've given away, whether it's because we've given it to other people or we've served our entire lives to our husbands or to our children. And I want to make sure that I give her those tools, that I empower and equip her. And so every decision I make, I always have that in the back of mind. I know, a little crazy maybe. But she picked the topic for today actually about 10 minutes ago. I want you guys to know that we are 100% live. We have not practiced.
Winging it.
We're totally winging it. I have not told her what I'm going to say. She has not told me what I'm going to say, because I want to make sure that it's super authentic. And I don't want to make anything up. I want to tell you exactly what it is. So her topic was
Social media.
social media. Why did you pick that topic?
I think because like it's like a light topic and like
Light
topic, and yeah, like
for you, it's a nightmare for parents, I think.
yeah, but like for us it's a light topic, and like it's getting bigger like nowadays. Like it's becoming like a more talked about topic because it's so large, and like there wasn't like a lot of it like when you guys were kids, but there's a lot of it now. So
There was none of it. There was nothing recorded for any of you that were in the 70s and 80s like me. Yeah, no social media whatsoever. So that's scary, I think, as a parent, but I don't think as much for them. How do you take it? Before I say my spin, because I think you know a lot of how I feel about that. But do you think we exaggerate? Do you see the potential severity of what can happen in social media? Do you see why parents are like, no, get off, no Facebook, no, what is it you like? Skype? Skype. Huh. See, I'm not even up to date with my social media. Snapchat. That's like scary to people.
Yeah, I mean, like, I personally, like me, I'm not a big social media person.
Why?
Like I don't know. I think just because I find it like a huge disconnect, especially nowadays with like kids. Like we go out to dinner, like just hang out with their friends, like somebody eventually is gonna be on their phone, on whether on Instagram or Snapchatting their friend or boyfriend or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so it tends to be like where we like we find things in common with social media, but we also like it's
You
a
prefer the
disconnect from
one-to-one.
us. So exactly. It's like my Instagram maybe has like 5 pictures, and my friends run
But
my
you do
Instagram.
realize how that's different
I
from
know.
most kids.
I know.
That's
Most
not
kids are
normal.
not like this. My friends run my Instagram because they always tell me that like I need to post my pictures, like I need to like keep up with whatever, but
Okay, so let's talk about the parenting component, because I know a lot of my followers are a lot of parents, or you know, at least adults that will be parents soon, right? How do you first I should probably tell you what I feel. I think since she was a young girl, at first my first instinct was like so many parents, absolutely no social media, right? That was like my first instinct. Let me figure this out. Of course, years later, I'm pretty versed. I don't even pretend that I know everything about social media. I probably know this much. But I finally realized, and I think my parenting goes along with what I'm about to say, if I take it away, if I completely restrict it, it's going to become that much more attractive to her. Or worse for me, in my eyes, she's going to do it behind my back. And there's nothing that scares me more than my kids doing something behind my back. I've always been very big about being honest. That doesn't mean that I think she tells me everything. I don't pretend that she does, that I think she does. But so what I decided, my take on social media, and tell me if you agree with this, or if you're I don't think you're like normal. See, I'm calling my daughter abnormal on social media. A good thing that, you know, we'll have to pay for therapy later. For me, my feeling was give them a little bit, so long as they're okay with me having full access to everything. There's a caveat. We have my son who's not here, who I'm sure has his little ways around that, and I'm sure she does too. But the one rule was I had to have all usernames and passwords. And the moment I saw something that was scary for me, that was inappropriate, not only was I going to take it away, but I am that kind of parent that would probably post them with a picture of I just got into trouble, you know, whatever, some sort of embarrassing, you know, slogan hanging from their neck. I'm that parent. I live to embarrass my children, I think, and I think my husband's worse.
the thing is
But
that we don't get embarrassed anymore. Like you have to like come
Well,
up
you
with new
see?
things all the time.
let
because
that be a
it's
lesson.
hard.
Embarrass your children so they're not easily embarrassed. But in terms of social media restrictions, would you say, first of all, would you say we were too strict or not strict enough? Or somewhere in the middle?
I think like at first I might have thought that you were too strict, but like to me, like when you said at the beginning, maybe like 5th grade, 6th grade, I don't even remember what grade it was. When you told me like absolutely no Instagram, like that was like the big thing, Instagram or Facebook, absolutely none of it. I think like to me, it made me like look forward to like getting
One day.
it like more
One
often,
day.
like I'm gonna get social media like 6th grade, like counting down the days, like whatever.
Oh, so like a
So
little
like it made me, yeah, it was kind of like, but like not just like a carrot, but kind of like wanting to use it so bad, like, and it's
that
like
you were
so
willing
close that
to
I was
do it
kind of like,
behind my back?
no, I never did, but the first time like I signed up for social media like in front of you, like Caro Romero was at our house. And
Caro, are
she
you
was-
listening?
Shout out to Caro. She was at our house. I think I was in 6th grade or something. We were like at the kitchen counter, and she was talking about it. And she was like, "Yeah, so I have an Instagram, whatever. Like, Nana, what's your Instagram?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't have one. Like, mommy doesn't let me get one. Hint, hint." And she was like, "What? We're making one for you right now." Like, didn't even ask your
Little bit of peer
permission.
pressure.
I was scared because I thought I was gonna get in trouble. But she was like, "We're making one, like right now, like right in front of you." And you just stood there and you were kind of like, "Okay." So I was like kind of like scared, not sure how you were gonna react, but we made it like right in front of you. But like, I think like overall, like I think the fact that like you weren't kind of just like social media, like use whatever you want, have whatever you want, like whatever. I think it like made me like
Respect them more?
more, yeah, respect it more, but like
Take it more seriously?
yeah, because like use it less, because like I realized like I had time to realize, well, everybody was already on it and I wasn't allowed to be on it. Like I had time to like not use it while everybody else was. And so like I realized the bad things of it, like when everybody else was on it and I was able to have those one-on-one conversations. So like I think I realized that more.
Would you say that having those conversations, you and I, not necessarily on social media, but you and I having conversations about social media, and even, you know, me and my scare tactics, because I am the kind of mom that will probably find worst case scenario and share it with them. Do you think that did that affect you in any positive or negative way, in terms of like, look at what can happen on social media, or no, like that was just white noise?
No, I don't think it was white noise, but I think like with like school and like all the presentations they give, along with like what you're saying, I don't think it was like a surprise. Like any of the things you were telling us, that like the stories that you heard or saw or like saw on the news or something like that. I don't think like me or like, you know, were surprised about it. Like I think we'd heard it before. I just think it like
Solidified.
reinforced it.
And what do you think about, I would love to hear, because I know that your friends talk about this, and I'm sure your friends talk about, you're a little bit older. So for those of you that don't know, my daughter's 18. So we're still teenagers. We have adults in this house. We are by no means done. But I do love to hear like that process, right? What your kids, what your peers, what your friends felt like when it came to social media. So for example, did you have any friends that their parents said absolutely not?
I think so. Yeah.
Can you think of any? And can you tell me like, how did that end up? I know I'm totally putting you on the spot.
I think the parents that were like absolutely not, like even as they got older to like a certain age where it was kind of like, why not, like there was like no point in restricting it anymore. I think those kids were the ones that started to like want to do it behind their parents' backs, because at that point like it was kind of just like not just that everybody has it and you don't, but at that point it was kind of like, okay, like enough time has passed, like I've learned my lesson, like whatever. So I think those kids like wanted to like do it behind their parents' backs more, but the rest, the parents that were like,
do whatever you want.
I think now they abuse it more.
Like they're only, because I do see that's a huge problem. I feel that kids cannot get their eyes off.
Yeah.
I think even a lot of us adults that use social media, I think that's a big one too.
That's why I'm like not big on it, just because I see like my friends, like all the people around me, like 24/7 on their phones, like
they're attached to it. And you mentioned something that I wonder, I think every parent, and please, by no means am I telling you how to parent your child. Every child, every parent, every household is different. And like I mentioned when I first started, I do not have all the answers. I make a lot of mistakes. Just yesterday we had, I'm not going to share this on social media, we had a little bit of a private conversation yesterday, and I noticed something that I think I made a mistake on. So this happens on a regular basis, but I feel that us women, including my daughter, because she's a woman, you know, as you know, an adult now, I feel that we together can empower each other, and we can learn from each other, learn from each other's experiences. You mentioned when someone is old enough to make their own decisions. I have a feeling that age in your mind is very different from that age in my mind, or at least in a lot of parents' mind. How old do you feel, I don't know, that kids should have free range to do whatever they want on social media?
Okay, I didn't, I think I phrased that wrong.
Oh, okay.
I didn't mean like that they're old enough to make their own decisions, but I think at some point, like, it's time, like, if you're the parent that, if you're a parent that says like absolutely no social media, up to like a certain extent, like I think it's time to like start weaning away from that. Like maybe let them have like one social media, and then like increase it to
so
two.
not
like,
just open the floodgates.
Exactly. Like
now,
like not be the two extremes, but maybe be like somewhere in the middle.
Would you say 4th grade is appropriate to start doing social media?
To me, no.
Oh, I'm a little bit surprised. Would you say 6th grade? Now we're in middle school. Is that?
I think 6th grade is more 6. Yeah.
Now, what by that you mean what? Facebook? Well, I know you guys don't use Facebook.
More like Instagram. Instagram.
What's the one you use? Snapchat.
I think Snapchat. To me, Snapchat feels like an older, like a teenager kind of thing. Okay. I feel like middle schoolers are too young for like all the parts of Snapchat.
I didn't
like
even know that.
There can
when
be like.
When did you get Snapchat? Now that I interrupted.
I think end of 8th grade, maybe beginning of high school.
I don't even remember.
I don't remember.
Fortunately, don't have a very good memory. How about, do you feel they should have free range once they're in high school? They can use whatever social media they want.
No, I mean, like, I think once you get to high school, like, it's kind of easier. Like, everybody has, like, all the different kinds of social media, so it's not, I don't think, like, we should be given free range, but I think, like, as of, like, having, like, multiple, like, Snapchat, Instagram, I think we should be allowed to have, like, all of them. I just think, like, our time
With some sort of
spent on it
limitations.
should be, like,
Okay. Now,
Sure.
I do have a, oh gosh, it's escaped me. I was going to ask you a question about social media in terms of restrictions, but it skipped my mind.
rules.
Oh, I know what it was. What is one thing that you feel has impacted you the most on social media, either positively or maybe a rule that I came up with, because I'm the queen of coming up with rules sometimes, or maybe something that you witness and you're like, oh my God, that could be really bad. That was a really good lesson. What would you say?
I
Something
think
that's impacted
a good lesson that, like,
you? Listen up, moms.
a good lesson that you've given me is to, like, if,
Oh,
like,
me?
I'm that
Oh.
you've given me, things that I've seen on social media, like, they have, like, different, like, impacts, like, emotionally, like there's, like, cute little posts that, like, there are, like, random accounts that post, like, quotes, or they post, like, little cute videos or whatever, so, like, those are, like, positive and they're, like, cute. But I mean, like advice wise, I think that you've given me, like, a good piece of advice that I still think about,
Which is?
and it's, like, to, like, make sure that, like when you told me to, like, be careful what I post, in the sense of, like, when you give the example of, like, getting a job in the future or even getting into college or whatever, where they see, like, what you do, everything you post, like, the littlest thing in your post, maybe it's not you, but maybe it's, like, the person next to you could, like, affect, like, your job or, like, getting into college.
That's true.
So I think that has stuck with me, just because, like, when I post or when I think of posting, I think I
know what you're talking about. And you have to give me permission. I didn't ask you this. Can I give them the story of the time on the boat when someone gave you a bottle?
oh, sure, yeah.
Okay. So here's the lesson that and maybe she remembers or not, but here's one of the big lessons I try to, at least for me, was scary as having teenagers. So my daughter had just gone into a parochial school, a pretty strict parochial school, which we're okay with. However, it was the summer she was entering, I want to say, and we're out on the beach. We're having a great time. Parents are in the water. My daughter and her friends are actually on the boat where the parents are in the water, and some song came on, and they're dancing and they're singing. One of the parents passed her a finished beer bottle for her to throw it away,
Yeah.
not for her to
Yeah.
consume or anything, but passed it to her. And in one of those, I'm seeing all this, I'm not close to her. She's on the boat, my friend passes her the beer bottle to throw away. This music and dancing and singing is going on, and she's with the beer bottle in her hand, and she's dancing on the boat. And I had a moment of panic. And I'm just trying to get across the ocean to get to my daughter, and I had to pull her aside and say, and she's like, Mom, I was, and of course she was immediately defensive. I wasn't doing anything, I didn't drink anything. I'm like, I know. However, I want you to look around. There were, ridiculous amount of boats. But regardless, even if there were 2 boats, I'm like, I want you to assume at all times that everybody that you see is taking a picture of you and sending it to your parochial school. That, by the way, obviously, does not condone underage drinking. And she's like, but I didn't take a sip. And I'm like, nobody knows that. Any picture that is posted or given can just be false information. And that's the one thing I've always been. Here's the thing, parents. It's not just what your child is posting. It's what their friends are posting, because your child is in that post. And so at the end of the day, the lesson that I think I've always tried to teach my kids, wrong or right or wrong, is that always be aware of what you're doing, because you never know who's taking a picture and who's posting it. I hate that I have to scare my kids with that kind of information, but I am scared for them and their future. So that's always been something that was in the back, because I never ever want to take away an opportunity from them because of something that they may or may not even have done, in case the beer bottle situation.
I think
Anyway.
it scared us like just enough.
It scared
Like,
you
not
just
we're
enough.
like we're like afraid to like ever like
Right.
be on like an occasion, but I think
But
it
just-
like gave us like enough like information and like
Assume at all times everybody is paying attention
Yeah.
and taking pictures. Okay. All right. So we have someone that insisted on being on the camera. He did not want to be put down, as you can see. I think he thinks I'm a chew toy, but just to keep it light and fun, let's see. What is one family thing? A quote, a family, like, I don't know, like something that's super indicative of our family, because we have a lot of nuances in this family. What is something that you say that you think, man, the moment you hear or say, or it's something we typically do, or whatever, say, I don't know, quote, that's indicative of us? Just something fun.
I think we make fun of each other all the time, like in a good way.
I don't know, that's healthy.
Sometimes not so good, but we make fun of each other like all the time for like the little things that we catch.
Uh-huh.
And so like for you, you stink at remembering anything.
I do
Like,
have a very bad memory.
We have watched trailers together, Mom, like a billion times. You're like, oh my God, this looks so cute. And I'm like, Mommy, we watched this last week. Like, we watched this together.
Oh,
And you're
the
like,
movie.
are you sure? And I'm like, yes. Or we watched this in the movie theater. And you're like, oh my God, like, this movie looks so adorable. So you have, like, this thing where it happened, like, with this one specific movie over and over and over and over again. Like, we would watch the
Yeah.
trailer, or we'd pass the movie and you'd be like, oh my gosh, this looks so cute. Like, can we watch this? And we'd be like, Mommy,
We've
we've seen
already
it
seen
10
it.
times.
I know
like,
what
we
you're gonna
talked about
say.
this.
It is.
And we say, have you ever
Playing-
seen Playing for Keeps?
Playing for keeps. Yes, I do. By the way, this happens not only with movie trailers, through a book, and I realize, oh man, I really know what the ending is like. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for popping in. I really hope this is helpful, insightful, if at all. Whether maybe it's something that I do that you're like, man, I'm never gonna do that with my child. Whatever it is, again, my purpose, our purpose, is to empower you, to give you some insight, not only as a mom that always worries about these things, but from the daughter's perspective. And I'm always trying to give you guys and give you value and information. Man, he really is in the mood to bite. All right, guys, I hope everyone's having a beautiful Thursday. We will be doing this every Thursday at 8:30. Come rain or shine, I think. I hope this is helpful. I want to hear from you. Comment below, send me a message. Let me know if this is something that you feel that you can connect to, and something that or if there's, please, a topic that you want us to discuss. I'll be happy to bring it up in the upcoming weeks. Have a good one, everyone.